can't see any of you, but there are some wonderful women in the room. There are. And I just want you lot to give it up for all the women in the room right now and all the women in the world alive today and dead. Ladies, you are incredible, all of you. But I'm going to dedicate this whole set, the whole thing, to my girlfriend who sat right there in that corner. Yeah, join her out. She is, love of my life, light of my life. And yeah, so who here is in a relationship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was at the Queen's then.
It's hard though. Like, those of you in a relationship will know what I'm talking about. When you're in with a real one, it is hard. It picks you up, drops you back down, takes you on a roller coaster, you know. And this here is a poem that I wrote for my girlfriend when I'm being tough. So yeah, like, hopefully this works. Okay. I need a conversation with someone outside of me. It's not a cold head you suffer from, my love. It's the weight of me and my selfishness on your temples. It's also not exhaustion that surrounds your spirit. It's the mess I've made on your floors, the kind you've never had to clean up before. And if I had known half the collateral I carried in my pockets, I promise you I would never have entered as confidently as I did. We are not star-crossed. Not really. This here is not a jigsaw with smooth edges. This here is a maze. It just so happens that all the entrances and exits lead me straight to your palms. We are not the love children of a God-fearing light, and yet something brought you to me. I must just carry your love so close to my core, the way your earthquakes seismically, routinely topple my house of cards. Brave or stupid, you ask me? Stupid enough to follow my breadcrumb bravery back to your moonlit eyes. I love you enough to change myself, to unlearn and relearn those parts of me I never saw. Me, a garden too angry to bloom in winter. You, an architect of the soul, yank my roots right out of this lowly, rotten soil. I love you beyond both my bravery and my stupidity, and all the versions of our immaterial reality where I end up with you. So give it up for her. So, as you may or may not have guessed so far, I am very gay. I also just happen to be very brown, and my parents happen to be very Muslim and homophobic. Yeah, long, innit? Long. And so I wrote this poem to deal with that difference in my identity that, like, I'll just never be able to bridge with them. And it's called In an Alternative Universe When I Come Out to My Parents. In an alternative universe, my mother would understand just how little is wrong with loving the same gender. My father would still dance at my wedding. They would still murmur prayers for my happiness and the health of my children, but in this universe, I represent a menace. Equal parts disease and defiance. In this universe, my father's face won't break into a smile, but crumble left side first at the news of my lover. The irony is we flood our homeland for not understanding our differences. The irony is they'll throw the weight of this place on my different identity at their first convenience. Call my illness Western nonsense. And once again, I'll come to home where I'll bear the scars that I was saved from. I'll remember once again home knows no love, and my scars will bleed in more colours than just red. In this universe, the rainbow flag will become my coffin dress, and I'll talk about how much they loved me at my funeral. And I hate to sound ungrateful for spitting spite at my mother's ignorance, the way my father's indifference will become the very reason for me hating men. And trust me, if I could, I'd unlearn the feminine anatomy, but it's my heart that craves this beauty, not my fingertips. This closet of mine is a 2. My closet, my cumbersome crawl space, is the only place I'll decorate in metaphors of my embellished existence. My parents will never hear them. They'll never feel the braille of abuse on my skin. In an alternative universe, my mother would sit at the front of this crowd, proud of the way I can be vulnerable for once. That her daughter isn't a barren tombstone, tattooed with cynicism, but fuzzy with hope that she too is capable of love. In an alternative universe, my mother and I would find solutions to all my people's social ailments. We'll learn, for example, how to organise a pride march in Turkey that won't end with hundreds of casualties. We'll learn how to help trans sex workers unionise so fucking hard that their abusive clients will receive their manhoods in brown envelopes addressed to their wives. We'll learn how to teach women to pluck their husband's eyes out the first time they see bruises on their skin before one is murdered every minute. We'll learn how to teach our sons to cry. To cry and cry and cry past the age of 8. To cry so fucking hard that all their internalized aggression is washed away with their fragile masculinity.
Oh, girl.
Our daughters will sit in classrooms and learn that no price of dowry could ever be placed between their thighs, that their sexuality will never end opposite a gun held by their brothers. In this universe, though, my mother vilifies me for wearing a t-shirt cut too low. Sorry. But this is a woven invitation for all the villains to gawk over. In this universe, my mother calls this protection. She doesn't call it abuse. In this universe, my father looks at me with contempt every time I walk out of the house without a jacket on. But mother, don't you see I am tainted? I have more colours to my name than money in my savings. I am bruised, mother. I am bruised from all the times I tried to love a man and failed. I'm not here to bear the lashes of him or home or you for that matter. I have suffered enough. Don't you see I have bled, mother? I am no virgin. I am red and green and blue like the ocean we crossed to become free, but I know no freedom, mother. I am dying in my cage. Whew, thank you. Wow.